But they are tasty.
So just to fill people in, because apparently I had to uninstall and reinstall my mic very quickly. This is Myth, Tales of Legend, The Lost Barrow. I gave just a spectacular recap as the group was heading into The Lost Barrow, which is why Ross suddenly started talking, and we're just going to pick up from there. Ross, please continue.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so Ross, I apologize. I was dealing with technical issues as you were giving me your description. Can you give it to me one more time?
Okay. The short version is I leaned over the campfire to make my face look spooky, and I was talking about how the whole area was still kind of spooky because of the pall, and a bunch of bats came flying down out of the trees and scared me behind Broken Bow, maybe even slightly up into one of the branches on Broken Bow, like hanging off the arm or something. But Broken Bow was sort of shielding me from the bats, and then everyone sort of reminded me that bats are... in fact, Nightfinder reminded me that bats are tasty rather than scary.
They do go quite well with Nightfinder's palate. Nightfinder, why don't we jump over to you? After the bat incident, as you think back and remember those times that you in your early days when you were journeying with the group, what do you remember happening as you were looking for this Barrow?
You remember we're looking for the Barrow, and it was spooky, as Kanakin said. And through the mist, there were some farmers who were fleeing those shamblers, and we had to hide them and help them get back to Drousel and safety.
And how did you help them get back?
Well, since we have, completely forgot the name.
Which person?
Evans.
Elciara.
Elciara, yes. And Elciara showed them how to be sneaky in the dark because she's one with the night and avoid the shamblers and get back to Drousel.
All right. Well, let's go to Elciara. What, as you are with your group kind of retelling this story, what do you remember happening?
Well, here's the thing. We were proceeding along, and it was quite dark, despite it being morning, maybe approaching midday, but feeling more like midnight. With that Paul guy stretched out all over, and suddenly, as we proceeded through the dark, we heard the sounds around us, and one voice said, "Hey, oh, you brought your crossbow. Oh, Francois, you are prepared. Quickly, we will take them." And everyone looked around, and I was gone. And there was, in many of their thoughts, although not Mom, Nightfinder, and not my bestest buddy, Broken Bow, hints of doubt, because, of course, they had found me with a band of bandits, and I had given up my bandit ways to pursue a higher calling of being a really good bandit. But I had snuck through the dark, and there were my old bandit companions, Jorg and Balto, pulling one of our old fast ones, calling out that there were even more. And I just walked up behind him and I whacked him on the head. I said, "You morons! Don't you recognize me? These are my friends. Get out of here. Besides, it's dangerous. There's dead things walking around." And they looked very sheepish and they walked off because they knew I was right.
Did they look sheepish because they're bad bandits?
They're very bad bandits. I got their goat.
Broken Bow. Kind of spinning out of that, what's something that you remember? Now, before you start, Broken Bow, one of the great things about the campfire scenes is, as the GM, I'm taking notes for the extended campaign. So I know that Kennekin is just very fearful of bats. We now have, people, like the players get to add to the world with these scenes. Broken Bow, go ahead.
Well, I remember how we were making lunch everybody was running around and looking for food. And Elsiara started the fire, and we started cooking. And that's when I noticed someone had picked the wrong plant. I know it looked really good if you eat plants, which is weird, but they picked the wrong one. And I don't want to point any fingers, but we all know who it was. Luckily, I was able to pull the poison out before it hurt anyone. It was that one.
Yep.
Right there.
That's what I'm
You know
saying.
who I'm pointing to.
You all know.
You all know. So I saved the group from getting poisoned
Not that we're...
and eating weird plants.
That's fair. Not that we're saying that it was Dorena who did that, but Dorena, what is something you remember?
Nice
I
segue.
remember being falsely accused of being alive. And I clearly hadn't made it to camp yet. Because as we were walking along this dewy morning, there was this fascinating spider's web that was covered in dew. And it was sparkly and pretty. And might have gotten a little lost standing there and admiring it. And then the owner of the web crawled out, and they were really big. So I might have had to kill it. But, I think it was poisonous, so I saved the group from that terrible fate.
All right. And then rounding
And I
us
did
out,
not poison.
Arthur, what do you remember about this journey?
I remember that I was trying to compose a new hymn in the praise of the Lord of the Morning, and I was picking plants for lunch. And I got a little distracted because it was, such a beautiful, day. We were walking through the forest, and it was kind of like misty, and the sun had come up, and
But the sun was cold and still kind of shrouded by Paul.
Yes, Paul was there. But I was, admiring the way that the light conquers even, the darkest of shadows. And I was praying to the Lord of the Morning for some guidance on our quest to find Xandra Fleetfoot.
Okay. All right. Well, as you continue your journey towards this barrow, the pall that tainted the skies above the village grow thicker. You sort of feel like you're on the correct path because all evidence of the curse seems to be growing stronger. Though the sun is shining overhead, you walk through deep shadows, and Arthur, even your faith, maybe it's your faith that keeps you going, because the light of the morning is struggling to pierce this shadow that comes out of the village. Now, you can see, as you kind of break out of the forest, there is this small clearing surrounded and topped with various standing stones. The ground around some of the stones you can see looks recently disturbed, as if something has broken free of the earth. And you see a small, well-maintained campsite kind of at the base of the hill. As you move around the barrow, you can clearly see a figure in a ring of stones that encircle the crest. and from the descriptions you got in town, this can only be the young scholar, Erasmus. His hands wave in arcane motions, and his incantations resonate through the area. It is clear that he is hopelessly attempting to keep some force at bay. Sweat pours down his face, his hair is plastered to his skin, his voice is hoarse and weak. And as you approach, he turns, his eyes widening in hope, and then going wider still with terror. His face contorts, and his eyes, you can see the whites around them even from the distance. And you hear him say, "It's too late! She's free! The book was a trap! It summoned her!" And as you watch, lightning strikes the stones at the top of the hill. A stray bolt leaps from the stone and strikes Erasmus full in the chest, the force of the impact throwing him against one of the other stones. His head cracks against the unyielding rock, and his eyes roll back into his head. But you have bigger issues. The earth near the base of the hill erupts outward. Skeletal hands emerge from the hillside, clawing their way free from the barrow. And a towering, undead figure, sheathed in archaic armor and wielding a thin, two-handed blade, steps free of the barrow. The Wight of the Barrow and 4 Shambler guards emerge. What little light the sun has dims to twilight, and the lightning strikes electrify the stones, casting a bit of a glow as well. There is no trace of the once great hero Xandra Fleetfoot in this creature's face. The unholy howls with freedom and charges at you. Now,
Well, it's been nice knowing you guys. Later.
Now, before we get into this, let me just... one of the things that we did with this adventure is we put in notes to the GM, which is weird because I wrote these notes and now I'm reading them to myself. Notes to the JM. So, I'm going to go over some of the abilities that you should try and keep in mind as we go into this. Okay? Nightfinder, you have the charring. Okay?
Yep.
Now, Ross, we changed the charring just recently. Would you like to give the bit of the update?
Yeah, the update is you don't have to worry about spending serendipity. If you want to use the power, you can just use it. It costs you vitality, and you add every vitality you lose gives you a shift on your spellcast.
Yeah, I was hoping you got rid of that part. I can spend the serendipity, but spending vitality.
No, that's really the point. Dorena, you're our hunter, yes? All right, so you have relentless pursuit. Okay. If you want, you can declare the Wight your quarry and get an extra point of damage when you. Yeah, you know how to play Rangers. Arthen, words of light. Don't forget, you can heal people once per combat on your turn. Now, Dorena, Elciara, Arthen, and Broken Bow. Don't forget your campfire cards. In this case, Elciara, you've already used yours. These are just the ones that we're calling out. So feel free to use. If you haven't used your campfire card, go ahead. If you, this is the time to use it. It is Act 3. It is time to. You want to skid into the end of this adventure with no serendipity, no campfire points, no vitality or life. Wait, no, that's my job. No vitality or life. So, yes, Broken Bow, you had a question.
So, the old Tales Hold True is my card.
Yes.
And I was actually waiting until we got here in order to play it. So I would like to.
Okay, well, when we roll initiative, when it gets to your turn, you are welcome to use your campfire card,
Awesome.
and we will go from there. Now, I'm going to pull out all of the stops. I have my threat pool from where we were at, I have that you have 4 serendipity points. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
All right. And you each have your campfire point. Now, I have a lot of threat. Monsters. So threat is the token economy that the GM gets to use to do all sorts of delightfully wonderful things for his monsters against the evil heroes who try and come in and take stuff from the Barrow. Now, the other thing I will point out is that in Myth, there's going to be a ton of monsters in Myth. But one of the other ways to customize monsters is we have what are known as... Oh, we moved that. Ross, what is the name of our templates that we can put on people?
The dynamic.
There we go.
Dynamic templates.
The dynamic template. So, in this case, you are not just fighting a wight, you are fighting a fast wight. So, let's get into it. I need everyone to give me a speed check in order to determine initiative. Don't forget, D6, number of D6s equal to your rating in that pool. 4s and 5s are 1 success, 6s are 2 successes.
No campfire dice.
No campfire dice. Way to go, Shamblers. You live up to your name.
Oh, how many successes for a 6?
2. All right, so it looks like I've got Nightfinder and Durena at 3.
Actually.
And Kennekin. And is it basically everyone? All right.
Except for Broken Bow, yes.
Everyone minus Broken Bow.
Pretty slow.
Well, you know who's not slow?
You're not really slow. You're just letting them come to you before you squish them.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a great way to think of it.
Strategy.
I'm a marathon runner, not a sprinter.
You're good over the short distances?
I'm not good over the short distances. I'm a distant.
Oh, that's right. The Durena is good over the short distances.
It's turn. All right, you guys ready to do this?
No.
Okay, good. Because it is definitely Sandra Fleetfoot's turn, and she
is fast.
She will
fast
cross the distance in order to engage Broken Bow.
Whoa!
I am so innocent looking. I don't know why she'd come in and attack me. I'm just a big tree.
You're just a tree standing in a forest.
Yep.
Trying to get the attention of a wight.
Not trying. 16.
Hey! All right, well, I have bad news, and I have worse news. I got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes to hit you.
Father Bell wants you to re-roll.
And, Ross, what happens when a NPC gets a 6 on their campfire die?
Oh, you get a threat.
I get a threat, and it's a critical hit, yes? So an extra die
It's
of
also
damage.
a critical hit, so you get an extra die damage.
Broken Bow, what is your defense?
2.
Oh, good lord. Okay. What is your fortitude?
5.
All right, so this is AP 1, so you only have 4.
No.
No?
She doesn't have any armor.
Oh, she doesn't have any armor? Oh,
None of
sorry.
us do.
No.
We're starting characters.
Well, then I should just up the damage of this, but I won't. All right, so Broken Bow, he does 9 points of...
Ow.
Or she does 9 points on you.
Yeah, she
So that is 5. What did you say your toughness was? 5. So that's 4 up. So you will take 4 vitality, unless you would like to try and soak it.
I
So
can soak it.
Remember, you take 1 shock automatically for soaking, and then you
How many do I need to soak?
4.
Okay. What am I rolling?
You will be rolling. You should have a soak value on your character sheet.
no.
Oh, and that's only for monsters, isn't it?
Well, so when you soak, which is on page
Yep, I'll put it up.
14, making a soak roll. Roll a pool of dice equal to your character's Constitution skill.
So you suffer 1 shock automatically.
Okay. There it is, Constitution. Okay.
Every success will turn 1 vitality into 1 shock.
You can add some serendipity if you like.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3.
All right, so you're going to take 3 more shock and only 1 vitality damage.
Yeah.
Now, Xandra comes in, blade whistling through the air, making this, you would expect like a thunk when it hits Broken Bow, but instead you just see these, this blade sort of whispers through the wood of the Spriggan, and you can see the little, all of those little blossoms that you grew last session. Just sort of, she neatly, deftly severs them. She is also
Sap everywhere.
just now, but you really are just pretty tough in your attempt to her attempt to just cut you down like a sapling in the forest does not work. You're a little stunned, but you're feeling otherwise okay. What is your athletics or your courage, whichever is higher? Because she's fast, so she can use her simple action each turn to put somebody in a disadvantageous position. So I need the better of your athletics or courage.
My athletics is 3.
All right.
Am I rolling campfire dice?
Nope. That is my target number, if you will. All right. Campfire die. And 5. I know I was joking, but that's another threat to my pool for a 6. And you said that it was 3?
Yes.
All right. So Becca, she kind of steps up and pommel strikes you on the side of the head. Your defense drops by 1 for the round. After Xandra, now goes everybody but Broken Bow. So who would like to go in whatever order you like?
No! Yeah, I'm letting loose with the butter knife.
No, you
not
have a dagger.
twisting, but
You have a real dagger.
I do, but I'm throwing first
Okay.
before I skirt through the shadows to get close because it looks really dangerous close. So I'm gonna throw my butter knife at that fake old, not a hero anymore, hero.
All right. Go for it.
I will. So that is 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Her defense is 4, so you hit. Now, don't forget, LCR, that you can spend serendipity.
Yes. Yes, and perhaps the audience would like a reminder on what that could do.
I would be glad to
Serendipity.
provide that.
Serendipity you can spend to add dice to a test.
There you go.
Okay. So this would be before rolling damage.
Yes.
And to try and up the success, or I could use a campfire point.
And
to
when you
reroll
spend a serendipity after the fact, for damage, you increase the damage by an extra bonus die.
I see.
No.
Okay.
It's +1.
No.
It's
Yeah.
not per. It's a +1 per point, not
+1 per point. All right, so we're gonna want to update that because it says +1 XD in the.
Is it?
Put a little note here. So +1 per point that you spend.
Okay,
I
maybe
see.
it's
So
my
+1.
bad.
No, that's fine. Also, for Broken Bow, you can spend serendipity to seize the initiative and increase your initiative by 1 per. All right, just saying, it was an option. All right, what'd you get, LCR?
I gotta roll my demonic. Okay. So my damage is 5 plus 1d.
It is an extra die. He's right.
Okay.
It's a die.
Oh, okay.
The character sheet has it wrong.
I will spend a point of serendipity to add another die in here. And that was worth it. So I generated a total of 7.
A total of 7. That will do 1 point of vitality to.
Because she's
Zane.
wearing actual armor.
She is the Archaic Armor.
Wow.
So you throw your blade. It hits her, drawing what thick remaining fluids that remain in this Wight's body that have sort of congealed over the centuries, much like the sap that flows from Broken
I'm
Bow.
sorry. I'm sorry. I did 8 because of my special ability. I think add plus rank and bonus damage. Oh, dice. Sorry, I've got to roll one more die because she is engaged and I am at home in the shadows.
She just came out of the Barrow and is already engaged to Broken Bow. Like,
Put a ring on it.
yeah, Sandra and Broken Bow sitting in a tree.
did you get anything else on that?
Or Broken Bow is a tree. So that's 8. That's 8.
All right. She will take the 2 points of damage. Now, 2 things happen.
Uh-oh.
LCR. 1, as a fast dynamic threat, her response action is once per round in response to a hero's action. She gets a free move whenever she's successfully hit by a player's attack. So your blade hits, and there is a blur and a flapping of rags as suddenly she is in front of you. You are now engaged with her. And there's an escalation ability where once per round at the end of a hero's turn, the fast enemy gets to take a series of concatenated actions once per round to kind of show how threatening they are. And in this case, Xandra is going to immediately make 1 attack against an opponent within melee range.
Oh, oops.
Which is now you. And if it hits, I also get to resolve a disarm attempt. And in this case, you have no weapon, so she's just going to try and disarm you.
I like my arms.
D-limb? What is your defense?
My defense is somewhere around here. 3.
All right. She will hit and shift the extra die for damage. Broken Bow, unfortunately, she has broken off her engagement with you and now seems to be engaged with Elsiara. She is a fast foe. Just saying, she moves quickly. What is your fortitude there, Elsiara?
My fortitude is let me double check here, but it is also 3.
It is also 3, so she will do 3 points of vitality to you with her blade.
Fortunately, we do have a acolyte with us.
You
so-
do.
Oh.
Would you
can try
like
to soak,
to
yes?
soak that?
Lily, we're gonna need you to clean up all these engagement parties because they're not going well.
Kind of like gender reveal parties.
Only when explosives are involved.
Let's see. I'd have to spend a point of shock, and then I'd be converting vitality loss to shock. Is that?
You'd make a Constitution roll, and every success then converts.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna just take the vitality this time around.
Okay.
Maybe I should go next. I need to do something for the group.
Ow!
I have to do something too.
Wrongdoer! I will do you wrong.
Can I go Dorina before she gets to react again?
Sure.
She can only react once per
She
round.
only
She's
reacted
done
once.
reacting.
I mean, that was her reaction. Also, Phantom of Truth said this fight is very wuxia, and I appreciate that. That's kind of like... That's awesome. All right.
All right. Before anybody goes, I have Blessings of the Dawn, which would bless me and my allies with divine vigor. Does anybody want to fight, shoot, or spellcast?
Yes.
All of those
Let me
things.
go first.
Arthur,
Go for
do
it.
your thing.
What's it do?
You may select up to rank +1 targets within range. So that's 2 targets. So probably Mark, Night Finder and Dorina.
Well, you can-
And those targets gain +2d to fighting, shooting, or spellcasting.
Like,
And so if I'm casting this, it says DN3. Does that mean I roll 3 dice?
No, so you will be giving me a spellcasting test, and you have to get at least 3 to get it to go.
make it go off.
Yeah, so the potency listed on your spell, that's what you can spend shifts on. So if you get at least 2 shifts, you can buy one of the potencies underneath it as well.
Okay.
Which means you could add more targets if you rolled really well, for example.
Wouldn't that be neat?
So it's 2 shifts per one, or 2 shifts would shift for both of them?
It's 2 shifts per extra target.
For potency.
Yes.
All right. And so what is DN3?
That's how many you need to successfully
Yeah,
cast.
you'll need 3
Alright.
successes.
You did say that out loud, but I did not process it. Okay. Excuse me, this is going to take a minute. I require to roll 8 dice.
This is kind of what you're good at. This
I
is
mean-
your thing.
Firstly, don't say that before I roll. That's
It's what you're supposed to be good at.
Is one of these a campfire die?
Yes.
Yes. And there are additional consequences for complications on spellcasting.
Yeah.
What is a complication?
A 1
A 1 on the
campfire
campfire
die.
dice.
I have bad news.
why did you say that?
I have lots of bad news.
All right, so
you have
so
exciting
first of
news.
all, did you get
Exciting.
3 successes?
I did not.
Okay, would you like to
That's why
spend
the
a
bad
campfire point to re-roll your failures?
You cannot re-roll the
You
complication.
cannot re-roll the campfire die, but you can still
Am I allowed to
possibly
re-roll
get
all
this
of my
success.
failures, or do I re-roll 1 per campfire point?
You re-roll all
All
of your
of it, all
failures
of it.
with 1 campfire point.
Okay, this one is in disgrace.
Okay.
That's the campfire die. Oh. The maths. Do I get 2 successes for a 5 or just 1?
One.
Just one.
You get 2 successes for a 6, though. Or
Well, great,
I'll give you
I have rolled
3
3
for a 7.
I'll make you go get. I got a 7-sided die. I'll go get one.
4.
What was that?
4 6s, 2 5s, and a 4.
Nice.
Extremely
Okay.
uneven.
So what is your total number of successes?
I'm doing math in my head. 11.
11. All right. So before we get to the complication, you spend 3, right? To activate it. You can shift one of those 6s over for a serendipity, which would bring your pool back up to 3.
The 3? Yeah, 3.
Yeah, because it was at 3. He was spent 1. All right, so
I
that
thought it
leaves
was
you
4.
with.
I have 4 because I have driving goal.
Yeah, we had 4 serendipity.
Oh, did you have 4 at the start? So
Yes.
it dropped to 3, so you'd be back up to 4. All right, so
So I spent 5.
so that gives you 6 more to spend. What can you spend them on with your look at your spell?
Okay,
Great
so the
question.
potency's
So-
got 2 things listed.
Yeah, so the range of this spell is 30, which I assume is 30 meters, but
Yes, everyone is well within range.
yeah. So the 2 things that I can do with potency, I may select another target to gain the bonuses, or I may increase the range by 10 meters. If everyone's already in range, there's no point in doing that.
How many times can she spend to activate potency, Ross?
There's no limit unless there's a asterisk next to it. So
All right. So
No asterisk.
all right. So you have 5 more successes. How many successes does it cost to add another person to the?
these are shifts, Jam.
Yeah,
not
sorry,
successes,
shifts.
but yes.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
I have 6 more successes.
but
and so
these
I
are
could,
shifts, so you have 1 more 6 left to spend.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So I had spent 3. I used a 6 to. I had spent 3 successes.
Yeah. So you succeeded with your successes. How many 6s did you have? You had 2.
I had
Correct?
4 6s.
You had
so
4
I spent
6s?
one of them for serendipity.
Yep. So you have you can add 3 more targets to this, bringing the total. Only 1?
It costs 2 shifts for one.
I don't have her spell up in front of me. Thank you. So
Yeah.
here's your choice. You don't have to add a point to the serendipity pool. You could add 2 more targets for her 4 6s. Am I remembering that correct, Ross? All right.
All right. So Kennekin and Elciara have already gone. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, Anakin has not gone.
No, Kennekin has not gone. It's Elciara and you.
Broken Bow hasn't gone either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you. You're the second
it's
one
you
to
and
go.
Elciara. Those are the 2 who have gone.
So then I will not spend the serendipity. I mean,
Okay.
I will not bring my serendipity back up, and I will bless Dorena, Nightfinder, Kennekin, and Broken Bow.
I don't like that, but I have to abide by the rules.
Woo!
So, what does it look like when this
Oh.
prayer goes off?
Don't forget
Oh yeah,
Don't
no,
forget.
I won't. I've got that pulled up right now.
the complication.
Yep.
So I stop and I pray to the Lord of the Morning to give my companions his blessing and guidance in their struggle against Xander Fleetfoot.
All right. As the
And
blessing
I'm
descends,
Surrounded by a glow.
so if you roll a complication during a spellcasting test, you suffer 1 shock. So I'm going to say that as you do this, the Wight looks at you, and electricity arcs from one of the stones as the curse sort of intensifies briefly, and it passes through you. Arthan's hair kind of stands up a little bit. You guys can see the bandage around his eyes starts to smoke a little bit, and
Woof.
you take a point of shock, Arthan.
Okay.
All right, so now we're still on everybody but Broken Bow. Nightfinder.
I would like to cast Winter's Bite on her.
On Arthan? I mean, that's fine. You're welcome to do that.
No.
No?
The Wight.
Oh, okay. On Xander Fleetfoot?
I call on the elements of ice and snow to damage and, more importantly, slow her down. And I will shift it to reduce her speed to 0, even if I have to spend vitality to do so. I get to roll 10 dice thanks to Lily. Oh, look at that. Yes, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 9, and I got a crit.
9 and a crit? All right.
So
The PN is her defense.
yeah, her defense is
Her defense is 4.
just to help me with math. Okay, so 4 takeaway. That leaves me a success, a 6, and a critical 6.
Okay, you're gonna have to, if you want to reduce your speed to 0, you're gonna have to spend both those 6s on potency.
Okay, yeah, the potency, the reducer to 0. So if I hit, her speed is reduced by half until the end of the turn, and she inflicts damage equal to my charisma rating, which is 4. So she takes 4 damage.
That is not enough to bypass her fortitude.
Okay, but
He's not. That wasn't the point.
Nope.
But I will reduce her 0 until the end of their next turn.
Okay, so her speed is at 0 until the end of her next turn.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. So
Now it says, question, Rod, it says multi-target. Do I have to target more than
you
her?
could,
You could if you wanted to.
yeah, much like
How would that work?
it works
Well,
like
you'd
in
have to-
Torg.
You'd have to announce it before you cast, but yeah, it
Okay,
looks
so then
like
it's
it's more.
multi-action.
You can
Got
target
it.
more than one person with that spell. It just gets harder.
Yep.
Okay. Now, so that gives me 1 extra point or success that doesn't do anything, that just dies.
Yep.
Yeah, shifts are the only thing that you can move from the roll to the result.
Right, and a shift is a 6 on the die.
Correct.
Or I can char myself.
Well, now you get shifts for yes, that will give you shifts for charring.
But that wouldn't do damage though, right?
Oh, it would because your potency on Winter's Bite says for every 1,
Every
you get an
shift
extra
does an
die of
extra
damage.
bonus die of damage.
So if you wanted to char yourself, you could put up to 3 dice of damage on this attack.
I know it's kind of metagaming. Is it close to her? I mean, is it worth trying to damage her, or am I not even going to come?
You're right at which her fortitude is.
No, he's 2 below her fortitude.
Two below. Sorry, you're 2
Yeah.
below.
Yeah,
She has
so
a
the most I
fortitude
could
of
do is-
6.
Yeah, so I'd have to get 7 plus to do anything. But that's okay.
All
I
right.
did my hopefully helpful spell.
So we've got Kennekin.
And we get a point of serendipity.
You do get a point of serendipity.
Yes, we get another
And
point.
it was also a crit, so he does get to roll at least 1 die.
Oh, wait a minute. I had 3 failures. I'm going to spend a campfire point and re-roll those to see if I can get more.
All right.
Right. You are totally welcome to do that. Just for those viewing at home, campfire points have to be spent before you determine the outcome of the roll.
Oh, the damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. No, wait.
I mean, you're more than welcome to. This is a play test. Like this is your
Well, yeah. Yeah, but the
That's okay.
intention is exactly as GM described it. You're really not. They're not supposed to be a spend after. They're a
Yeah.
spend during.
Gotcha. I'm good.
All right, Kennekin and Durena, you are up. But
Okay.
Mark, you did get a critical, so you do get 1 extra bonus die of damage. So go ahead and roll that.
It's only 1 more point.
Okay. All right, Durena and
Those-
Kennekin, you are up.
Well, the glow that settles around Kennekin is clearly golden in its light. For anybody who loves The Last Dragon as much as I do, and I will sort of take a moment to thank my teachings. I will say, Sensei Tokai, I hope you knew what you were doing when you sent me here. With that, I will run and leap, and I'm going to do a flying kick at Zandra. And as I do this, my silhouette passes right in front of the moon.
All right. It looks
Now, because of the-
spectacular.
I do get a +2 because of the blessing, so I'm up to 10 dice.
And
Which
for
is
your
a-
description of the attack, I'm going to give you an extra bonus die for that.
Woo! So I had 11 dice.
Don't forget, if you like embellish your roll before you roll it, you may get bonus dice.
Okay, well that is a terrible roll with only 3 successes, so I'm going to spend a campfire point on that for sure. Wow. That was awful. Okay, better, but still not great. So we have a total of 7 successes.
A total of 7 successes. That you need 4 to hit her.
So I can shift 1/6 to damage. So I'm rolling a total of 2. And does anybody mind if I spend some serendipity? Because we're at 5 points right now.
Go ahead.
Cool. I'm going to spend 2 points and add 2 more dice to the damage. All right, so that's going to be a +2 total. So I'm going to inflict, it looks like, 10
All right.
is my damage.
All right, so she is going to soak.
I'm sorry. I take that back. 7. 7 is the damage.
7? Nah, she'll take it.
Bang.
Flying to Elsiara's aid, Kennekin, the Tavian monk, leaps across the battlefield to strike this Xandra Fleetfoot's undead corpse in the back, leaving an opening for Dorena. What do you do?
Did she take damage, Jay?
She did. She took 1 vitality from that.
Woo! Serendipity well spent.
So, reaching in her robes, Dorena pulls out what looks like a duck call, but it's a hawk screech,
Nice.
owing to her identity as the hawk.
Hawk.
And she will toot her hawk whistle really loud as she as she marks this bad lady as her foe, and then shoots her.
All right.
So with the blessing, that gets me to 12 dice.
Yep. The blessing. Don't forget the hawk gives you 1, and I will give you 1 just for the sweet description of what just happened.
It was satisfying to roll 13 dice. Ooh, okay.
Evan, you can have a campfire point.
I need it.
All right, Maddie, what'd you get?
Okay, so I'm going to spend a campfire point to re-roll because I currently have 5 successes with 2 6s.
Feel like I'm gonna be rolling some soak here.
So that's another 6. And the rest were just really low. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes.
All right. Well, you need 4 to hit the Wight of the Barrow. So how many 6s does that leave you after you spend the 4 that you need to hit?
That leaves me 1. Well, that leaves me 2 6s.
Okay. So you can shift 1 to the serendipity, or you can shift them both for damage and get 2 extra dice of damage.
I will. Well, okay. So also, my campfire die was a 1.
Excellent. I mean,
So I will shift both of those to damage. So that gets my damage. So my damage is normally. So it says. So it's normally 5, and then
Plus
because I
1
made her
die.
my quarry, that's 7.
yep.
And then if I shift 2 more, that's 9.
No. So it's 5 base, right?
Okay.
You got for your quarry, you get it to 7.
No, that's
No, you're right. Rank
yeah.
extra dice. So it's 5 base. You get normally get 1 bonus die of damage. You get an extra 1 for your quarry, and if you shift the 6s, you could be at 5 plus 4 extra dice of damage.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, go for it.
Ooh, 2 successes.
All right, so that would bring your total to 7. All right, at this
Oh,
point,
actually, sorry, 3 because 1 was a 6.
all right, so that would bring your total to 8. At this point, she's going to try and soak that because she's starting to get some wounds. She will reduce that to 1 vitality and 2 shock. All right. All right, so, but you were firing with your crossbow, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the 1 on the campfire dies. As you go to reload this thing, you spill your corals all over the ground. So it will take a simple action to pick up your coral so that you can shoot next turn. All right, so it is now the Shambler's turn. Because despite how slow the Shamblers are, they still get to go before Broken Bow. So they sort of shamble in, howling. These are ancient warriors who once served the cause of light, but have since the grinding of the ages has reduced them to mere husks of darkness. And as they move in, this knowledge that even after a life of serving the light, you may still, the darkness may still take you. I'm going to spend 2 points to cause a fear test. So I need everyone to give me a courage check, DN2.
And because we are the heroes of the wild, we all get a +1 die bonus to our courage.
And then correct because I am stubborn, I get
You get
3
an
more
extra one.
dice.
Yep.
Dwarves are really hard to scare.
Then these are campfire die, right?
Yeah.
What was that, Elsiara?
I'm so scared.
Are you?
And do we do a campfire in this one?
You said 2, right?
Yes, if you do not get at least 2, you will have a +2 DN due to fear. And that lasts until the end of the scene.
It's naturally the dwarf is completely unfit.
Yeah, you are unflappable.
Yeah.
Durant.
Whatever. Dead people.
Your flaps remain down.
JM, I was so scared I didn't hear what my penalty was for the rest of the scene.
+2.
Oh. Okay.
That affects all the target numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
Did anyone else fail besides the... if it had been bats, I would have increased the difficulty for Kennekin. But, all right, the Shamblers will then shamble about. One of them comes up to Nightfinder, stabbing him with this scavenged weapon from the Barrow. You think it might have been a meat fork at some point, but one of the tines is broken off.
Perfect for roasting bats.
What's your defense, Nightfinder?
3.
All right, so it will hit you for a total. What is your fortitude?
2.
All right, Mark, it will hit you for 4 vitality. He kind of
Ow.
jams that meat fork right up under
Wow.
Nightfinder's jaw.
Ow.
Durena,
Ow.
what is your defense?
11.
I miss. 3. All right, so Durena, what is your fortitude?
It is 4.
All right, Ross, if I equal the fortitude,
They just take some shock.
you take some shock.
Yeah, it's let's see here.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I was literally just had it just up. So yeah.
You will suffer. You suffer 1 point of shock from it. They don't get past your toughness. It just kind of clocks you up the side of the head with the broken part of this mug.
I absorb it into my lady beard.
But she's a dwarf. Hitting her in the head with a mug is unfair because they're used to it.
That's right. That is basically how they spend most of their
It's
days.
a D3 of shock.
Yep. I did 1 point of shock. Mark, did you soak anything?
Yeah, con, right?
Yep.
I want to make sure before I roll. I soak 2. So I take only 2?
You take 2 vitality and 2 shock.
Gun!
Broken Bow or Arthur, what is your defense? 2. They miss you. And then Kennekin, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I have to attack someone else. Kennekin, I assume 2 does not get anywhere near your defense. All right, so that is my 4 shamblers. Back in the town, the miller and the blacksmith get into another argument that goes on for a while. I assume children are born throughout the 4 kingdoms, and then it's Broken Bow's turn.
Wait. The healer's got to stick her head out of the hut back in the village. I wonder why those strangers never visited me.
That's right. No one likes me. Broken Bow, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to play my campfire card. The old tales hold true.
All right. I know you have been waiting to play that card. It does not. No, I'm just kidding. So, will you read what the old tales hold true says?
Yes. Throughout the ages, the world remembers truths through stories. The old tales hold truths that many in this age have forgotten, but in the telling and hearing of stories, we remember. When you play this card, narrate how your hero recalls an old story that pertains to the present situation. The GM gives you a piece of information that is helpful in the current scene. So,
But I'm going to need you to do it in Broken Bow's voice.
Okay.
Because remember, you play the campfire card, it's sort of, as your heroes are retelling the story, it's something that you bring up around the fire. So, as you were, you just remember Nightfinder getting stabbed through the lower jaw by a meat fork, and then complaining about dwarves getting hit in the head with mugs is just like a standard Tuesday for them. What story do you tell, Broken Bow?
The Wight was really fast. She showed up in my face, and with her sword, she cut through, and I was shocked by how fast she moved. And then she was gone and up in Elsiara's face. And it reminded me of a story and at this point, Broken Bow casts us the dirtiest look at Kennekin. Father has told me about Xandra Fleetfoot and how fast she was, but that she had one weakness. And could never tell if that story was true or not. But it was said if you were able to hit her on the back of her legs, you could slow her down.
All right. So the other thing if you guys declare that you are aiming for the back of the legs, Broken Bow's story will give you +2 damage against Xandra Fleetfoot. Now, Broken Bow, you also remember the story that very often these more powerful unholy have the ability to raise the dead of those who are buried around them, but that their magics are what animate the remainder. It is your turn, Broken Bow. What do you do?
So, with the story in my mind and seeing Xandra Fleetfoot the Wight, not like white like color white, but white like shambler unholy white. Just to clarify, up in Elsiara's face, and Elsiara was very, very afraid. I picked up speed and went running towards Xandra. with my hefty stick, I swung low, aiming for her legs in an attempt to break them and slow her down. Because LCR is my best buddy, and I don't want her to be scared.
You can roll with an extra die for narrating that whole thing. Just
Thank you. All right. Then my other question is the simple action an attack action the same thing?
No.
So, I would like to use a simple action to gain one of the benefits from my Harvest of Bones ability.
please do.
Okay. I would like to add another bonus dice to my next attack roll.
Go
Would
for
it be
it.
this one?
Yes.
Yep. So it's this. So you get the extra one for this, the extra one for the narration of the combat, and the 2 extra for Arthan's blessing.
So you're up 4
Alright.
from your normal swing. God dang. It's like 12 dice.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 13. Guess what the campfire did?
What did the
That's
campfire
what I'm gonna
do?
need too. I know the feeling.
All right, group exorcism of the campfire dice.
I'm gonna need an old gamer and a young gamer.
All right, a total of 12 successes.
Woo!
3
Nice.
So
All right.
hit.
You need 4 to hit. How many 6s do you have left over after that? 3. All right. What would you like to do with them?
I will throw 1 into serendipity and then use 2 to hit harder.
All right. Bringing that to 5 and rolling 3 bonus dice. What's your base damage?
7.
Plus the 2 from the campfire brings it to 9.
Brokenbout is the hardest hitter of the entire group.
Ooh. 3 more. So total of 12.
All right. Well, I'm going to spend a point of threat to
Dang.
soak that.
Ow!
That'll be 5.
For the chat and everyone watching, Lily delightfully sent a gif of a sloth while I was telling my story. As if
Flash
she wanted to
Utopia.
tell me something, like, I'm slow.
All right. So here's the good news. You bring that club right across the white of the Barrow's head, or back of, like, you were aiming for her legs. You shatter a little bit of the ice around Xandra's legs, but you also, part of your stick breaks off, and as you watch in slow motion, because that's just the way Broken Bow is, this piece goes and it hits a rock, one of the stones, and bounces back off, and I need you to roll a d3 for me. One. LCRA, you take 1 point of shock as the tip of Broken Bow's stick just kind of catches you across the side of the face, because you are engaged with this creature as well. It is now.
I felt really bad
It
when
is
that
now
happened.
Xandra's
Your
turn.
scar is so cool.
It is bleeding. You do have a sweet scar. Broken Bow, you just hit her for the most that she has taken this entire fight. So I want you to know. She's coming for you.
Yeah, I'm aware.
No critical.
Wait, what's happening?
Xandra, it's the start of the new round. Xandra is attacking Broken Bow.
Speed is 0, though. Does it drop her down?
What do you mean? Her speed's at 0. She can't move until the end of this turn. So
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
she can still attack.
Doesn't change her initiative?
Nope. No, that's set. All right, Broken Bow, what's your
Oh,
defense?
change it, Ross.
Defense is still 2. Fortitude is 5.
But she moved away from Broken Bow.
Broken Bow
No,
moved
she
up
didn't.
to attack her this turn.
Yeah, Xandra can't literally. You made it to where Xandra can't move on her turn.
Yep.
At the end of her turn, the ice will melt. She'll be able to do whatever. But
All right.
LCR is there. Broken Bow has to show up.
That's
Sorry.
right. All right. So Broken Bow, your fortitude is.
My fortitude is 5.
So you will take 3 vitality from this hit,
Okay.
and she is going to make her athletics check against you.
Okay.
Your courage is 3, correct? Or your athletics is 3, correct?
Yeah, I guess my courage is also technically 3.
That's fine. All right. So then she follows it up with an uppercut to your face, which doesn't do anything because your face is still made of the same rock that the rest of you is, but it does throw you off balance, increasing the DNs of what you were going to be attempting to do. Now, it is anybody but Broken Bow. All right.
Okay,
Somebody help!
I'll do it. I'll go.
So, question before. The Blessings of the Dawn say that they are a sustained duration. So, do I have to roll again?
No. If you're sustaining it, it's sustained. The thing is, if you try to cast another spell while you're sustaining a spell, it does make it harder.
No,
Actually,
but,
sustaining a spell makes it harder to almost do anything else.
right. But four of you still have plus 2d. So.
Yes.
Which is awesome, and we are very grateful. We are honestly super freaking grateful.
Ross designed the game, and he's super grateful for Blessings of the Dawn. All right. So you see the rest of the ice melt around her. Broken Bow, you're at plus 3 DN because she got a lot of shifts when she did her interaction attack. So who is going next?
I think Kenny can want to go.
I don't even have enough dice for this. Okay, so Kennekin will look in shock at Elsiara bleeding, and he'd be like, kind of put a paw on her shoulder, be like, "You need to get out of here. I'll hold him off." And I'll turn back to this creature, and I'll say,
Save
the
yourself.
wise,
I'll hold them back.
the wise do not mess with a man's beloved, while the foolish remain engaged with a monk."
Wait.
So
What?
I know, right? JM, I'm going to use the all-out attack option.
Go for it. Ross, why don't you describe the all-out attack option for you?
So you can declare your character is using an all-out attack option when making a melee attack, but it puts all your effort into offense and very little into defense. So I'm going to get a bonus to the amount of dice I roll, but my defense is down by 2 for the rest of until I get to go again. So yeah, until the start of my next turn. So that's still a lot of dice, though, because I start with 8, and then I got 2 from the all-out attack, and I got 2 from the Blessing of the Dawn. So I'm actually going to have to roll one of my dice twice. I don't have that many dice.
I'm going to let you roll 2 dice because the defense of your beloved. The reaction that everyone got from that, we're going to count that as a narrative strike.
This is my Karate Kid moment.
Sweep the leg.
Wow. Well, it's a lot of 4s, but no 6s. It's definitely a hit. That's all I can tell you. So that's going to be... How many serendipity we have in the pool right now?
You have 5 in the pool, and that's one of the chat members did point out that not having enough dice for a roll is a beautiful problem to have.
It is. I'm going to... Guys, if it's okay with you, I'm going to take 3 points of serendipity from the pool and spend it on damage. Cool. Whoa. All right, well, that's a 7. jam.
That is a 7, so it'll be 1
I
point.
just can't. I can't do any better.
All right, I'm gonna
I have
spend
this big
a point.
speech. I do a crazy strong punch and it slips out as a beak.
I rolled no successes on my soak, so she will take another point of vitality from Kennekin's strike. Now, she can move, so the second action in the dynamic threat escalation tier is immediately after a hero takes their turn. Xandra can move up to her speed and gains +3 defense till the beginning of her next turn. So she, breaking free from Broken Bound and El Ciara, is going to... Oh, and Kennekin. So she's going to use her response action to break free, and no reflexive actions are allowed against this first one. So she just... There's a blur of movement, and she's no longer around you, and now she's up against Nightfinder with the blade poised to cut down your Hurani apprentice.
She's basically moving so fast she's getting a little blurry, which is why it's harder to hit her.
Yeah, and for Broken Bow, everything is blurry. Everything is moving faster. So she's actually at +6 to hit her this turn. All right, so Nightfinder, this Wight is in your face, along with one of the other Unholy.
Oh, she doesn't attack. She just moves.
She just moves, and she increases her defense by 3.
Gotcha. I'm going to use my campfire card, Chaos of Magic.
Yes!
And I'm casting it on her, so she will be hindered until the beginning of my next turn, which is after her. So she'll be hindered her next time she gets to go. Instead of taking a bonus for myself. Check. Did I read it correct?
Close.
If played on an enemy, that character becomes hindered 2 until the beginning. So you actually have to play it when you cast a spell, or when any spell. You play it when any spell is cast. If you play it on a hero, they get +2 to the spell. If an enemy is casting a spell and you play the Chaos of Magic on them.
No, the only requirement is that it's played after spells cast.
Oh, okay, so it's not played on the person who is casting the spell. That's how I read it. Okay.
He could cast a spell and throw the card on her.
Perfect. Go for it.
But he does.
I just wanted to say I'm using the card not later. I didn't know if I had to announce it at the beginning of my turn.
Nope, that'll give her +2.
The requirement is that you cast a spell. That's the only thing that's really important about it.
All right, go for it.
Do I have to cast it at her, or can I just cast a spell? Okay, so I'm going to cast a Blood of Gaia, and I'm going to try to target some of these shamblers because they seem to be bothersome. And it'll be at least 2 of them, unless I can roll really well, and in which case I will.
Well, Blood of Gaia is a little harder to cast than your other spell, but it does.
No, actually, it's easier because her defense is higher than that.
No, her defense is lower than that, unless for this round, in which case, yes, it is higher. Specifically, that is only true this round, but yes.
What's the defense of the shamblers? Because that's what I'm targeting.
No.
So in this case, Mark, you're just gonna cast the spell at DN5, and if it succeeds.
For the conversation of are they tougher than that? I don't know if they're tougher or not.
Shamblers are defense 2.
Yeah, that's okay. The other spell I can only hit one target. This one I'm hoping to hit multiples and take them down with fire.
Yeah, Blood of Gaia is awesome. I was going to say it's harder to cast because it's actually a little more impressive than the other spell.
Okay. I got nothing on my campfire die, but I got 5 successes and 2 6s.
Nice. You can add another target.
Well,
yes, so I will add a target.
5 successes and 2 6s, or 5 successes with 2 6s?
No, 5 successes and 2 6s, 2 nothings, and nothing on my campfire. Didn't do anything extra for me.
Go for it.
So I got 5 for the spell, 2 6s. It helps when you're rolling a whole pile of dice. Really.
Oh yeah.
So I will shift it to 3 targets. 3 shamblers will take. It's a base 5D, but I'm also going to use the charring to shift damage. Now, is it 1 vitality is an extra die of damage?
Okay, no. That's not how the charring works.
Okay. So how's it work?
The charring says you get an extra shift on a spellcasting test for every vitality you take. So
Okay.
you will get 3. You can get up to 3 shifts. You can then spend those shifts on potency, which can then add damage.
Mhm.
But well, except that the potency on this one doesn't have a damage.
So yeah.
Okay.
So,
But I can spend 1 vitality to make it 4 targets, right? That's 1 shift, because that's one of my options.
you need
Okay,
2
it costs,
shifts.
it costs shifts 2
It's
shifts.
2
yeah.
shifts to add another target.
Okay, so 2 vitality
Would
to
be 4
shift
targets.
all 4 targets for 5d of damage.
So you're hitting
Thanks.
all 5. So who are your
All-
4 targets?
All 4 shamblers
All
are
right.
going to take 5d, which I'll have to roll now to see what they do.
They'll
So-
take your charisma
Your
plus a
charisma
D
plus
one
one
D.
die of 1 extra die of damage.
You
Okay.
can throw serendipity on that if you like, but
Do we have any left?
You got 3 in
Yeah.
the pool.
Spend 1, make it 2 dice of damage extra.
Go for it.
A 3 and a 6, so 2 more points of damage. So 7
7 total.
7 damage to 4 targets.
for the 4 shamblers.
All right, so that's 4 up over their fortitude. So, Mark, what does it look like when you
Good
take out
Lord.
all 4 shamblers?
Oh my god.
Well, since we're all suffused, and it makes me a little uncomfortable because I am a creature of the shadow and darkness, but Arthan's glow around us, it kind of shifts and engulfs all 4 shamblers, and fire erupts from the earth, consuming them to ash.
All right.
Yeah,
so
the blood
that
of
means
Gaia is actually magma. So it's like
magma.
little bubbling, red on the ground.
All right, I have.
Just to be clear, Mark, you did as much damage as I've done in like 2 swings to 4 guys at once.
Yeah, but their defense is a lot lower than her.
But that's what
either
spell's
way,
for.
these 4 columns of magma burst from the ground, consuming the shamblers. Dorena, Arthan, and Elsiara, you are up next, and then I can't mock Broken Bow because I have no one who's going between those 3 and Broken Bow, so we will just continue on to the end of the round. So, who is going next?
Elsiara.
Don't hurt my mom! And overcoming my fear, I'm charging forward with my special shiny dagger, and I'm gonna stab that bad thing. Let's see. I am going to spend a campfire point to re-roll some dice. Now that it was a terrible, wasn't good enough. That's better. That's much better. Okay, so that's a total of 7 successes with 2 sixes.
Well, you need 7 to hit her this round.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, is that actually? Do I need 9? Do I need 7 or do I?
You actually need
her-
9 because you are in
I need
terror of
9. That's right. So, well,
Did you spend a campfire to reroll?
I did.
All right, so your other option then is to spend serendipity.
Got 2 left.
So each serendipity that you spend adds a die to the test. Now you have to declare how much you are going to spend.
Okay. Well, I mean, in order to, I'm at 7 and I got to get to 9, so I think I got to spend our serendipity, folks.
Is everyone okay with that?
Is everyone okay with that?
All right, go for it.
All right, I'm going to adding 2 dice.
Come on, boxcars.
Sorry. Headshot. Wait, no, that's battle tech.
And here's the thing. Not only did I not hit with either of those serendipity dice, but the bad campfire die was also open. So, so did I find another hole to fall in?
I wasn't going to say that, but since you brought it up, Elsiara, you go charging across, and one of those pools of cooling lava, you actually step in for 1 point of shock and hot-foot it across. Arthen and Dorena, you see quite possibly, quite possibly one of the, what you have come to expect of Elsiara, at least in her early days here on the road. There's a chuckling around the campfire as you remember Elsiara Hotfoot, and perhaps how she got her name. Arthen and Dorena.
You can earn titles.
You can earn titles. We're going to cover that after this fight, yeah. Who's going next?
Elsiara Hotfoot, yeah.
Arthen, I believe in you.
Oh God. All right. My other spells are not as useful. So can I do melee attack with a wooden plank?
If you're still sustaining the spell, you will suffer a penalty, but yes.
Yes.
It's almost a bench.
It's nearly a bench. It's part of a bench. It could be a bench.
All right, so you're going to need a 9 to hit her with your part of a bench.
All right. I don't know that I'm going to succeed. You said I need a 9?
9.
You need 9.
I have a 4.
That's good. All right,
almost halfway
Dorena
there.
and then Broken Bow. You see Arthen kind of come up and brings the wooden plank down on the back of the Wight, and the Wight does not move and just sort of slowly turns its head to look at Arthen.
Well, no, remember, she's super fast right now.
Oh, okay.
And hard to hit. So yeah,
she's not tough.
Swung,
you bring up a good point, Ross.
She swung where she thought she was.
She's moving like a blur. All right, Dorena, what do you got?
So, gonna bend over to pick up my arrows. And I'm gonna play my campfire card.
What is your campfire card?
Technically, they're bolts. Technically, they're bolts. Bolts.
I have a quarrel with you, sir.
Campfire point. What does your card say, Dorena?
Well, I find a trap, and I have to dodge, and the more people I nominate to also dodge said trap with me, if we are successful, we get serendipity for it.
You do. All right. So as you go to move, lightning arcs from the stones, from the unraveling wards. Pick 2 other people.
What do you roll to?
She can choose up to 3.
Agility.
JM, she can choose up to 3.
She can choose. Go for it.
Well, I would think that I am near.
Agility.
Right. She has to pick. She has to be one of the 3, but she can pick. Zandra can be one of the 3.
But do we get serendipity if Zandra saves?
Yeah. You get serendipity equal to the number of targets, whether they save or not.
Okay, well then I'll pick Zandra for one.
Okay.
I'll pick myself for the other. And I'm assuming I'll be somewhere near my BFF Kanakin.
This guy.
So.
All right. So the way
we all get stepped on a trap.
All right. So the way this works is the lightning hits you. I will roll damage, and if it's greater than your fortitude, you will suffer some damage.
No. That's not how that works.
That's what we have in the.
No, it's anybody who fails. You make an agility test. And anybody who fails the test suffers 1 mortal vitality.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's previous version-itis, JM. I get it all the time.
Oh, okay. We changed that?
Yeah,
Perfect. Sorry about that, everyone.
Is there a campfire in an agility test?
there is.
No. Okay.
So Zandridi's making an agility test, Duran is making one, and I'm making one.
There we go.
Now, luckily for
spend a-
me,
Fire point to reroll. Or can I? Okay.
I have a really good agility, and all I need to make. Whoa! Zerk! In my head, I'm sort of imagining she stepped on a little like stone, and the lightning is arcing from that stone to my stone, to a stone near me, to a stone near Zandra. It's like,
Zandra makes her roll.
okay.
What'd you get, Dorena?
Well, I have 3. Can we use campfire on this or no?
You can use a campfire
Points.
point to re-roll, yeah.
Unless it's
And 6,
complication.
so I have 5.
All right, woo!
All right, so there are now 3 points in the Serenity pool. What are you doing with your action?
I'm gonna shoot her.
Go for it.
With a quarrel.
I think I'm at 11, so I have 9 normally plus the 2 from
Mhm.
Arthur. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, crit on the campfire.
Nice.
Curses.
4 serendipity.
And more threat.
That's right. Every crit is a threat point.
And then if I have it, may I use another campfire on this?
If you have it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Woo!
10.
It's a hit.
It is a hit, because you need 7 to
11.
hit her.
Okay, so 11 minus 7.
Got any 6s? You got at least 1 from the crit, so.
Yes, so I had 3 6s of the 11.
Nice. So you're going to be at 1 for your weapon, 1 for the crit, and then 3. So you're going to be rolling 5 dice on this attack. Oh, she's your quarry. 6 dice on this attack.
Yep. So what is your base? Your base
God
damage
dang,
is 5, yes.
Base damage is 5.
All right, go for it.
3 additional.
5, so
Good
it brings
shot.
it to 8. So that's 2. She's going to spend a point of threat to soak.
You realize that's an impossible shot, like in any case. It's like a, you know, should have
Aimed
missed.
at her middle back knee. Oh, I should have done that. I didn't even think of that. Could have added more.
True.
So she soaks all of it. She
Wow.
turns.
No. She's still taking
She's
shock
taking
damage?
shock from it. Yes.
So there's a limit to how much she can actually soak. So.
Yes. However, GMs may spend threat on their turn to recover 1d3 plus 1 shock. So,
Yeah.
Broken
You've got
Bow,
some threat.
you're up.
You've got some threat, don't you, JM?
I'm sitting on 7 right now, and that's after
Woo!
the soak roll.
God dang.
All right.
Take her out, Broken Barrel. Take her out.
So I don't think she's so tight.
At this point, I was a little confused by what was going on. I felt really bad that Alciara had gotten scratched. For everyone else, clearly has moved on. Broken Bow is still back here. It's fine. And this confession by Kanakin that he and Alciara.
Woo!
I don't know what to do about that or how I feel because she did try to tell me, oh, our conversations make so much more sense now. Oh, Okay, no, it's coming clear. So in the middle of this, I'm very confused. But I see that Zondra's still up. So I go running after her again, and I feel myself sway like there's a big wind. And I swing with my arm for the back of her leg again.
Go for it. So that'll increase your base damage by 2.
Okay.
Now, you need 10s to hit her. Is that correct?
I was at 9.
So 7 is where she's at now, plus 3 from the DN. So
Okay.
you're at 10.
So, yes. 10. So...
Interactions attacks. If I can give one piece of advice to anyone who's going to be playing this or running it, interaction attacks.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Do I get 2 for aiming for the back?
You get plus 2 damage.
Damage.
If you,
Okay.
if you hit,
If you hit.
And then do I still get the 2 dice from Arthur?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And 1 die from the description.
And 1 die from the description. Okay, so 9. 2, 1. Okay. Six on the campfire die.
Yay!
Ooh.
More serendipity.
More serendipity, more threat.
Yeah, I
Anybody-
read that GM taking threat was optional, so you could just choose not to take it.
What'd you get?
11.
All right,
Nice.
you hit. Go ahead and roll. So what's your base damage plus 2?
9.
9.
All right, and then you get 2 bonus dice of damage.
God. Woo.
Nothing.
You can use serendipity.
We got 5 points of serendipity.
Actually, I also have a campfire, so I'll re-roll and I'll take 3 for serendipity. Okay.
Okay, you can. Yeah, wait. If you're gonna re-roll, you have to do that. The serendipity would be your damage. Would be damage dice.
Yeah.
Spend a campfire to re-roll what you failed, and spend serendipity just to add more dice to the damage roll.
You can't re-roll serendipity dice. That's not a thing.
I
Just
haven't
roll
rolled
them
them at all.
No, she hasn't rolled yet
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
Like, I'll roll the serendipity dice.
I think the,
the campfire dice
clarification
for
is, Ross, can you re-roll damage, your bonus dice of damage with a campfire point?
You can, yes.
Okay, so that's what she's going to
Okay.
re-roll those first, and then spend serendipity if she needs it.
Right. I'm sorry. I forgot which stage we were at. My bad.
No, you're fine. I still did not get anything from my campfire reroll, but the
All right.
serendipity. 3s, guys. Across the
Wow.
board.
Wow. Dice jail.
All right, so you did just 9 points of damage, which is 3 points of vitality. So she's
It's
going
still
to.
a mighty blow.
It's a huge blow. So
Oh,
she's,
wait, hold on. Hang on. Wait. You forgot your Harvest of Bones, Becca.
Oh, I did.
It's a critical hit.
Oh. All right, so 1 more die.
No, yeah, you can, as a simple action, as a soldier,
Mhm.
you can spend your Harvest of Bones to do extra damage on a crit.
Another 3.
Oh, this one was a 2.
Oh!
All right, so
You
broken
rolled
bow,
6
you
dice, and not
bring
1 came up.
No, one came up before. No.
Dice
against
jail.
all odds, you hit Xandra Fleetfoot. It took 2 points of threat, 1 to soak and 1 reroll, all 3 failures. But she soaked it.
Okay.
So you do hit her,
Use Valkyrie.
hitting her across the back, and that's when she does the.
Right. That's that moment.
That's that moment. She will turn and attack Broken Bow.
No.
That's a reaction, right?
No, this is now her turn.
It's her turn. Okay.
No.
Broken Bow, what is
She's
your
got
defense?
Is she hindered? Is she hindered on this turn?
She is hindered on this turn.
Okay.
Defense is 2, fortitude is 5.
Defense is 2, so even with the increased difficulty, I got 4 successes, but that's all that I got. So I will just be rolling the 1 extra die of damage. 2 points of vitality, Broken Bow.
Okie dokie.
All right, and now it's basically all of you as you dogpile on Xandra.
Well, I can't, in this case, I might want to ask Arthur to go first and see if he can do some healing.
Yes, I can do some healing. So I can use a simple action to pray to the Lord of the Morning for aid. Myself and my allies within hearing instantly heal 2 vitality.
There you go.
And we'll lose the bonus we have to attack.
No, this is not a spell.
This is not
This
a
is
spell.
a simple action.
Cool.
So,
She just
Lord
does
of the
it.
we're trying to do your work. Please help us.
All right, then what do you want to do with your action?
Well, I mean, I'd like to do something with my action, but let's be realistic here.
She is back down
Swing
to
the bat.
defense 4. She has finished her turn.
All right, so I would need 4 successes,
You just need 4 successes.
but I am still sustaining my other spell. So
Yes,
do I need
so
more
you
than
need
that?
6.
Okay, great.
I feel like we just need Evan to show up to all of the games and provide live GIF commentary
Right?
for the Twitch chat. You are missing.
I think we should let LCR use her cool do dagger at least once.
I have 6 successes.
Woo! With a
You
bench.
hit. What is your base damage?
4 plus 1 XD. Wait, what is this?
Yep, so
This-
4 plus 1 die.
No,
It's
that's
5.
the wrong one. Sorry, 5 plus 1.
All right, go for it.
So 5 plus 3, or possibly 5.
Just
That's it.
okay. All right.
So the extra dice work just like a regular dice. So if you got a 3, that's nothing. You would need a 4 or 5 or 6.
That's what I thought.
All right. So for the last of the escalation actions that Xander Fleetfoot gets to take,
Good.
she immediately makes 1 melee attack against every hero within speed. So
She runs around and hits all of us.
I'm going to start with Nightfinder. Nightfinder, what's your
This is
defense?
a terrible game of Duck Duck Goose.
15.
What's your defense?
15.
No, I need your actual defense.
2.
All right, so she will hit you for
Wait, defense is 3. Sorry. Defense is 3.
defense is
Courage
3.
is 3.
All right.
3.
Is
So
that your
she
final
will-
answer?
And what's your fortitude?
That's 2.
That's 2. 6 points of vitality, Nightfinder.
Ow!
Broken Bow, what's your defense? 2. And your fortitude is
Luckily, I
5. 2 points of vitality. Kennekin. What's your defense? 5. No, another point of threat gone.
He's re-rolling. Yay! Costume threat.
Okay, there we go. 3, 4, 5. Kennekin, she hits you. What's your fortitude?
Oh no! My fortitude is only a. My fortitude is only. Sorry, wrong page. My fortitude is a 2, a mighty 2.
5 vitality.
Oh
LCR, what's your defense?
God!
3.
What's your fortitude?
3.
4 vitality.
Ooh.
Arthur, what is your What is your
Time for a little soaking.
2? All right. And what is your fortitude? You will take 2 vitality. And Dorena, what is your defense?
This doesn't smell right. 3.
All right. What's your fortitude? 5?
4.
4? So you will take 4 vitality. So there's just a blur as Xander Fleetfoot stops in front of each of you, taking 1 swing at each. When she comes to a rest in the center of you, do any of you fall cut in half by her 2-handed blade? Nightfinder?
I tried to soak and I failed, so I have 6 vitality and I've taken 6 shock, so I just fall over.
Ow.
When the drops to 0, they fall unconscious. If they ever suffer damage from a single attack that exceeds twice their maximum vitality, which I assume was not your maximum was not.
No,
3.
I had 6.
All right. When a named NPC drops to 0, they're all right.
I soaked 2 of it and ended up taking. I'm badly hurt. That's 3 vitality off of me. So.
All right. So Nightfinder, you hit the ground. I need a defiance check from you.
The heck is that?
You will roll a d6. On a 4 or 5, you stabilize. On a 6, you come back with 1 vitality. A 2 or 3 is a failure, and a 1 counts as 2 failures. If you fail 3 defiance checks, you are dead.
I got a 4.
All right.
That's a stabilize.
So you stabilize. You no longer need to make defiance checks, and at the beginning, you were stabilized but unconscious. Kennekin, Elsiara, or Dorena. That took a lot of threat to make that attack go off.
Good lord. Ow.
Oh, my heart!
Ow.
My heart weeps for you. It weeps.
So, I think I'm down. I took 5.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And I tried to soak. And I was not entirely successful. And I took 2 additional shock, but I couldn't get rid of the other 3 vitality. So actually, I'm at 0 shock and 0 vitality.
All right,
now.
so you can give me a defiance check. Roll a d6.
You know, you guys on your soaks, you can use serendipity to add extra dice.
Well, I actually used a campfire die to re-roll some bad rolls, and it still didn't work out.
Okay.
What'd you get on your defiance check?
I got a 4.
All right, you are stabilized.
Like my
Dorena
mom.
and
So I took 4 vitality and I soaked all 4.
all right, so you
Whoa.
took 4
So
points
I-
of shock. That was awesome.
Dwarfs.
Yeah.
Dwarfs.
5 shots.
Yep. All right. So, what would you like to do with your turn?
With my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot her
Shoot
in the back
her
of the leg.
back of the knee.
Okay, go for it.
2, 4.
Did you know when you get shot in the knee, it ends your adventuring career?
That's right. Xander Fleetfoot used to be an adventurer like you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did you roll 2 extra dice for shooting her in the back of the leg?
No, you get 2 extra points of damage, not extra dice.
Okay.
Use the
Alright.
last campfire to re-roll.
Well, you needed 4, so you've hit.
Okay. Then I won't use the campfire.
Okay, do you have
Well,
any
it's
extra
still
sixes?
useful for finding shit
Okay.
6s.
Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I hit her for 9.
Okay, so you needed 4. Do you have any extra successes after that?
6.
Yes.
Any 6s?
Yes, 1 is a 6.
All right, so you're gonna get your normal 1, your 1 for being it being your quarry, your 1 for your shift from the 6. So what's your base damage plus 2? 7, I believe.
7, yeah.
Damage plus 2 is 7.
All right, go for it. Roll your 3 bonus dice.
Okay. 2 successes.
All right, so that brings it to 9. I have no more shock left, or no more threat left to soak. So, Durena, what does it look like when you bring down Xandra Fleetfoot?
I survey the field. Charred, unholy, charred friends. And in a fit of pique, I raise my crossbow, remembering what Broken Bow said. I shoot her right in the back of the right knee. And you hear the bolt kind of thwap and wiggle. And as it wiggles, she cries out in pain.
That's awesome. I love
and
these rules as well.
Disappears.
Awesome. All right. Well, we went a lot longer than I had anticipated. So, needless to say, there is treasure inside the barrow. There is the reclaiming of Erasmus. And there is the returning to the village. And in the adventure, you actually get to decide what to do with the Book of Topi. And as you may have picked up in the last episode, several of the NPCs in town have very strong feelings one way or the other on what to do with this book. But that brings us to the end of The Lost Barrow. And so I would like to take a little bit of time. What did you guys think? Did you like this was the first time I've gotten to really run Myth. This is the first time I think Ross has gotten to play Myth. What were your thoughts, like on the adventure, on the mechanics? Go for it.
I liked it. It's a different system. Takes a little bit to understand the shifts and what you got to do, but it's not really that difficult. You just have to remember how to use those and how to use your serendipity and campfire and all that kind of stuff.
I think it was a lot easier to like track that the first time I ran this when we actually had chips at the table that were flying back and forth. Now, Becca,
yeah,
and
tokens would be.
Oh, sorry, Mark.
Tokens would be very handy to have, like some other games we played. But yeah.
Becca and Maddie, this is your second time playing Myth, yes? If I remember correctly? This was your first... All right, so Becca, what was your thoughts second time actually playing through The Lost Barrow? You were in the original playtest.
I was Kennekin in that one, and yeah, bouncing around.
You went from the fastest character to the slowest character.
I did. So, I mean, 2 times through, it's interesting that both times the heroes decided that Erasmus was just misguided. Clearly, we want everyone to just be misguided and not intentionally evil. But, like, I mean, yeah, the story holds up even a second time through. You can find new things and get different clues. Yeah, first time playing, we definitely went to the Tavian healer and got all of our information from her. So it was what she said was the truth. And so in this one, the fact that we found all the information ourselves is cool. Like, I mean, same end result, but new information.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes the story a little. So that was fun. But yeah, I really did enjoy taking out people in the knee.
Any other thoughts or comments?
I was planning. I have this background ability for Kennekin where he could call on his mentor for one favor, and I was going to spend it in the final scene where we're back at the town and there's a decision about the book, what to do with the book, and I was going to say, well, clearly the wise will take this knowledge elsewhere, while the foolish will hoard it for themselves. And I was going to use my my background ability because it's a cool thing, the connection that you get for the for that particular background, but it's useful more in role-playing scenes than in combat.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking like how to use it.
Yeah, so Arthan's background says you seek to recover a lost book important to your faith. I was curious, is this book meant to be the lost book?
Hmm.
That is up to the
Uh,
GM to decide.
when I wrote the pre-gens, I was thinking that would be something that
Yeah.
it was never intended to be a absolute yes or no, but a
Sure.
possibility.
So in a campfire story, I could say, and then we found the lost book, and here's what I did with it.
Right.
How did you guys like the campfire story scenes?
I enjoy them. It's fun to get you to put your stamp on what you're doing and what happened. So I've done montages before where you're kind of passing the buck to someone else. So it's kind of nice to set yourself up and then solve it yourself as well. So
Now,
it
the
doesn't
one
feel
thing
like
that
you're
we did
farming
not
another thing.
do for time is technically when you spend a campfire point, the GM can be like, all right, well, how do you tell the story of why you got to spend this campfire point? But we were
That's not a hard rule. That's
Yeah.
because in combat it could be a lot. It slows
Yeah,
things
it's a
down.
lot to kind of keep track of. LCR, or sorry, Evan, you were going to say something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the campfire segment. I mean, I thought that those moments allow you to step back and, think about where the characters are, that idea of, later on you're telling the story. It helps you step back from the moment that you're in and think more about the character. And I think the setting and the character generation. I mean, we're playing pre-gens, but obviously they're the product of the system. And there's this sense of whimsy and innocence, particularly in starting out the characters. That is it's fun to have that and to make sure that you recommit to that framework. And I think that the campfire scenes help do that.
Well, thank you all for taking time to play through The Lost Barrow. Thank you all for watching. You are a Nazgul or you are an Ozgul. Thank you for participating in the chat tonight. That was awesome, and I'm glad that you are excited and looking forward to it. We will be back next Thursday with a return to the Oh Boy. So if you are a fan of Thursday nights, if you have been following us, we are going back to the crew of the Oh Boy. Picking up Comes the Inquisitor Part 3 on Thursday of next week. And we will be back with our regular scheduled tour game on Tuesday. Apologies. We had some crazy weather in Colorado and it threw me for a loop. But we will be back, I promise. I just used the extra time to plan even more meticulously on what to do with the tour game. Now, check out all the other great shows on Ulysses. If you liked Myth, go check out Campfire Chats with Ross and I. We actually made characters, so if you want to look on how characters are made, I think my character went live today, and Ross's will go live next week. As always, Bill's Heretical Musings. Robert Aducci is just running a ton of great shows on there. If you have any questions about any games that have the Ulysses stamp on them, Robert has a show about them. He even did a show where he read through and did a read-through of The Lost Barrow. So you can go check that out if you want more insight, or you can just go to DriveThruRPG and pay what you want for The Lost Barrow. It has all of the rules that we and story that we used tonight in this this little 3-arc session. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back on Tuesday with more Torg. I am JM the GM. These are my heroes of myth, and we will see you in a couple of days for the 4 Horsemen, and then we will be back next week with Jexa and the rest of the Oh Boy. So until next time, keep telling stories.